This is a difficult question to answer, but it's a great question. The reason that it's difficult is the Counseling Center places such an emphasis on confidentiality that if I'm not directly working with a student, I don't always know why they're here. And so there may be counselors on staff who are dealing with students who are coming in for these issues that I know nothing about. So all I can do is speak from my own experience. And what I'll say is, in the time that I've been on this campus, thankfully, there's only been a handful of students who've come in dealing with minor issues related to racial discrimination. It seems to come up most often in dealing with romantic relationships, perhaps dating a person of another race, or dealing with parents who are disapproving of their race or their partner's race. It can also sometimes come up with roommates. And roommates can be an adjustment for a whole host of reasons, but sometimes it can be different and difficult to live with people other than your family, especially when that person comes from a different race or ethnic background or other cultures. And so there's an adjustment period for a lot of students, and sometimes racial issues will come up there. One thing that's wonderful about our campus is there's an emphasis and a focus on inclusion and an appreciation for diversity. And I'd like to think that that's part of the reason that I haven't seen a lot of issues around racial discrimination coming through my office door. That being said, discrimination happens, and it happens for a lot of reasons, and it's something to be aware of, and it's, I think, important to know what our campus does to try and prevent discrimination from happening for students, especially around issues like race. So one of the things that our university prides themselves on is the fact that we're a Hispanic serving institution, meaning that more than 50% of our student population come from Hispanic races, ethnicities, and backgrounds. And that promotes a feeling here on campus of diversity right out of the get-go when it comes to issues like race. But our entire student body is not Hispanic, and so we have other races and cultures represented, which creates a very wonderful, culturally rich environment for students to live in, work in, and study in. And it provides a rich environment for myself as a staff member as well, because we have a culturally diverse staff. There are also programs in place from the university that help promote diversity and inclusion. One of the new ones that was started this year is called the Inclusive Islander Network, and it focuses on education around things like acceptance and compassion. And they have a tagline that I really love called "Cast a Net of Compassion." And I love that idea because a net can cover our whole campus, and I think it should. And it's so easy to be compassionate and curious about somebody's race that might be different from your own. And curiosity and learning are one of the great ways to prevent discrimination, because the more you know, the more likely you are to treat someone with respect and dignity and value their humanity. That being said, there are experiences of discrimination that unfortunately you as students or as faculty or staff watching this video might face. And so I want you to know some of the things that you can do if you do run into this issue. Certainly one of the options would be to come in to the Counseling Center and speak with one of the counselors here about your options, your feelings, what the experience has been like for you. There's information at the end of this video about our location and how to get in touch with us. If you're experiencing discrimination in a work setting, we have an HR office on campus staffed by wonderful employees who we work closely with, and they would be happy to listen to your concerns and help you figure out the best way that you feel comfortable dealing with this issue, whether it be with another coworker or a supervisor, or maybe a supervisee if you are responsible for somebody else's work or you're overseeing somebody else's work. And their office is open to faculty and staff, but also to our student employees. Lastly, sometimes racial discrimination can be scary, and it can involve things like overt discrimination, like threats or angry writing. And in those situations, people may no longer feel safe, whether it be in their home, in their classroom, or at their job. And whenever safety is concerned, I always want to encourage somebody to get in touch with the campus police. You can reach them by picking up any campus phone and dialing 4444. If you're not on campus, you can, or you don't have access to a campus phone, you can call 361-825-4444. So it's easy to remember. And they also have the ability to be reached through the Islander app. So that's something you can download and keep on your phone. So our office, the Human Resources HR office, and UPD would be my top 3 resources for this issue. But I'm going to have at the end of this video a slide with more information and additional resources that you can feel like you can reach out to as well. Hopefully this is an issue that you will never face, as I wouldn't wish it on anybody, but I do want you to know that if it is something you're dealing with, that you do have support here on campus, and we want you to feel accepted, welcomed, and that there are people here in your corner supporting you.